it's really a complementary thing. I sort of think that you don't need to have a big camp and spend heaps of money and heaps of months organising in order to have little teams doing direct action. Rising Tide, Newcastle, that I'm part of, has been taking direct action against the coal industry for many years. But by the same token, having this big camp together that is centrally organised allows people to and inspires people and gives people the tools and the room to go off and start doing that kind of decentralised direct action together.
Australia exports more coal than any other country on earth, from a handful of ports in Queensland and 2 here in New South Wales, including here in Newcastle, the largest coal port in the world. On Clayton Road exhibition, we're all going to file in after them. Once we get there, the parents are going to be gathering on the driving area at the top. There are no musical steps to get through, just line into rail corridor. Like everyone.
Like we're facing up against today is the ideological fences that they're building out there in the community. Trying to get people to believe that there's no way that we can actually meet this crisis outside of giving more power and more money to the people that are actually responsible for it.
I think that it's a real achievement that we've stayed together, because there are strong minds and strong personalities that get involved, and for them to actually I suppose join to all their common and pursue those things that we have in common it's powerful and beautiful and really hard sometimes.
The last group I met with was the Australian Youth Climate Coalition, which brought hundreds of students to climate camp. Youth climate coalitions succeed in climate justice campaigns because of their ability to build personal relationships based on trust and equality, and their creative leadership styles.
In order to achieve climate justice, you have to have people engaged at their own level in their own communities. So using existing community organisations and structures as they are already, and as they're already very effective, engaging those organisations for climate justice is really effective. So rather than trying to create a new structure, use what's already there.
If you're a successful social movement, you will leave behind you organisations, habits, groups of people who know each other, ideas, all these things that may lay dormant for many years later, but then start flourishing again when there's a new social movement. So your role is to start those.
I think growing up in Newcastle, you can't not think about environmental issues because it was all around you with the coal exports and the BHP steelworks. So pollution was something that you lived with and that you saw every day. And I think that's one of the reasons why I became an environmental justice organiser, and why, for me, environmental organising has always been about people, not just the environment out there. And grassroots movements are essential for that part of it. And actually you can see, around that corner, if we were behind that cliff, you could see a bit of stretch of sand called Stockton Bight. And that was my first campaign with my high school group, and we won it. When I was 14, we started this campaign. By the time I was 16, we'd won.
and we got this area of amazing native forest and sand dunes and Aboriginal sacred sites declared a national park, and that was through grassroots organising with us, the students, with the Indigenous elders and with the local residents. So I think this whole environment and the experiences that I had here definitely shaped my beliefs around grassroots organising and environmental justice and why they're two are linked.
The environmental movement has changed dramatically to encompass social justice. Australian grassroots organizations already meet many of the United Nations principles for capacity development. They scan global problems and reinvent solutions locally. They challenge inequality in power structures. They build on existing capacities, and they focus on personal accountability and trust. The threat of climate change has been met by a remarkable group of leaders building the capacity for just transitions. By sharing and acting on each other's success, we can look forward to a more sustainable future.